Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rizky Fuadi Islami, and we are a group with 4 people. First myself, and then Shetani Marhama, and then Shafika Nadifa, and then Reza Umami. And here I would like to explain about what we read. So the topic of what we read is Islam and the epistemic politics of gender, a decolonial moment. Critical reflection on gender as a category of analysis within the study of Islam is a venture fraught with intellectual and cultural challenge. Despite tacit acceptance of the analytical significance of gender, the intersection of these two categories has made for a highly charged field of inquiry, polarizing Muslim and other audience over its commitments, practices, and impact. The field is also gendered, with most of its scholars being women. Leila Ahmed's Women and Gender in Islam, Historical Roots of a Modern Debate, 1993, Denis Kandiotis, Gendering the Middle East, 1996, and Lila Abu Lugod's Remaking Woman, 1998, take full cognizance of Edward Said's Orientalism in 1978 in their critical investigation of essentializations of Islam which turn on gender. Studies reconstructing foundational texts as the ground for gender equality, like Quran and Women in 1992 by Amina Wadud, have provided post-colonial counter-readings in and of themselves. After all, like other modern categories such as race and religion, gender has a history imbricated in the epistemic paradigm of Western Eurocentric modernity, which has long sought to subjugate non-Western intellectual tradition through histories, objectification, and conceptual reconfiguration of their texts and key events into the West's self-understanding. A critique that not only brings Islam materials under the gender lens, but also through the interrogatory lens onto gender and its history could enable us to formulate new questions that address some of the aporias within Islam and gender discourses. Observation about feminists. Rather provided here are some observations about feminist gender theory and the contours of engagement with it in Islam and gender scholarship. Thank you.
B. Two example of sentence applying complex sentence. While this is also true for the study of Islam and gender, other factors are also at play. Islam and gender scholarship is increasingly conducted by women who are Muslim or of Muslim background. After all, like other modern categories such as race and religion, gender has a history imbricated in the epistemic paradigm of Western Eurocentric modernity, which has long sought to subjugate non-Western intellectual through design, historic objectification, and conceptual reconfiguration of their texts and key event into the West's self-understanding.
Some words belong to Islamic studies. The first is Muslim, Islam, Quran, and religious.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Raja Umami. On this occasion, I would like to discuss material about Islamic studies and gender, which is contained in the several Q&A sections. First, what are the underlying causes of epistemic status in the characteristic of the study of women and gender, and the factors that play a role in this study? For the study of Islam and gender, other factors are also at play. Islam and gender scholarship is increasingly conducted by women who are Muslim or of Muslim backgrounds. This has simultaneously mitigate and reproduce the modes of marginality associated with women and gender studies. Second, what are the result of Leila Ahmed's work on women and gender in Islam and the contents of this book. Leila Ahmed, Women and Gender in Islam. First is historical roots of a modern debate. The second is Denis Kandiotes, gendering the Middle East. Third, Lila Abu Lugod's Remaking Woman. And the last one is Tactful Cognizance of Edward Said's Orientalism. In their critical investigation of essentializations of Islam which turn on the gender. And the third, what are the variation of traditional intellectual responses? Traditionalist intellectual responses vary, ranging from empathy over the Islamophobic and Orientalist undertones of their common non-Muslim detractors to outright dismissal of this scholar as agent of cultural imperialism. And the last one is mention the genealogy, history, and theory of gender equality and difference. Like other modern categories such as race and religion, gender has a history imbricated in the epistemic paradigm of Western Eurocentric modernity, which has long sought to subjugate Northwestern intellectual tradition through historicis, objectification, and conceptual reconfiguration of their texts and key even into the West self-understanding. That's all for me. Thank you for your attention.